So, in the last video, I asked all of you to complete a communication diary, writing down all social interactions you had in the last 24 hours, including the communication partners, the purpose of the interaction, and the medium or media involved. Now, let's take a closer look at all the interactions you recorded and ask yourself several questions. First, how many of them are mediated by computer or other digital devices? Second, do you see any connection between the type of media and the purpose of the interaction? Third, do you see any connection between the type of media and the person you communicated with? The cues filtered out approach is really a combination of several theories, each developed independently in the 1970s and 80s. But their theoretical assumptions and arguments are very similar. There is social presence theory by Short, Williams, and Christie in 1977, media richness theory by Deft and Langle in 1984 and 86, and the reduced social context cues by Sproul and Kiesler in 1986. So, first let's take a look at a social presence theory. It defines social presence as the awareness of others. In any human communication acts, the degree of social presence we feel may differ when we use different media for such communication. Because media differ in their capacity to transmit nonverbal cues. The fewer the number of cues a medium could transmit, the less social presence it provides. Communication is considered effective if the medium provides the appropriate social presence for the task. According to social presence, face-to-face communication provides the most social presence, while written or text-based CMC does not transmit auditory, visual, or other nonverbal cues, so it provides less social presence. A very similar theory, called media richness theory, is developed in the 1980s. Media richness is defined as a medium's capacity to reproduce the information sent over it. Specifically, it includes, first, the ability to handle multiple information cues simultaneously. Second, the ability to facilitate rapid feedback. Third, the ability to establish a personal focus. And lastly, the ability to utilize natural language. The theory also defines messages according to their equivocality and uncertainty. Equivocality exists when there are multiple and possibly conflicting interpretations for the information. So, low equivocality and low uncertainty typically means a clear, well-defined situation. High equivocality and high uncertainty mean ambiguous events that need a lot of clarification. Naturally, a richer medium is needed for equivocal and uncertain messages. Here is a diagram showing different media on the richness dimension. From the very top, the richest medium is face-to-face communication, followed by video conferencing, telephone, two-way radio, written address documents such as letters and email. Finally, the leanest medium is unaddressed documents, such as bulk mail and posters. Finally, the third theory in this group is called reduced social context cues. Similar to social presence and media richness theories, this theory argues that CMC lacks cues to status, social norms, and etiquette in comparison to face-to-face communication. That makes people more self-focused and increases anonymity. Therefore, CMC can lead to hostile, uninhibited behavior, such as flaming. Now here is an example describing a pretty common phenomenon. In a text-based CMC situation like this one, because we do not have access to auditory, visual, or any other nonverbal cues, text is all we have. That's why using all caps can be considered as shouting. While in face-to-face communication, video conferencing, or even talking in Skype, this kind of misunderstanding is very unlikely to occur. The cues filtered out approach was quite popular through the 90s. It received early support from empirical studies. For example, one study showed that people meeting through email rated senders as more logical, analytical, and structured in comparison to senders' self-perception and the perception of friends. CMC group discussions were less social-emotional and more task-oriented than face-to-face group discussions. However, this approach also received some criticisms. The biggest criticism is that it has a very deterministic view of media. Social presence. However, this approach also received some criticisms. The biggest criticism is that it has a very deterministic view of media. Social presence or media richness is considered a property of the medium itself. It does not vary according to the users or the communication situations. Also, some studies have found that there are many other factors that could influence media choice. For example, social pressure could play a significant role. If most of my coworkers prefer to communicate using a certain medium, I will be compelled to use it too, even though I may hate it or the medium does not necessarily fit the message. Lastly, the theories were developed before 1990s, when text-based CMC was still the norm. Social presence or media richness has an unidimensional view to categorize media, and that may not capture the expanded capabilities of new media we have today.